G'day everybody, Pat Dooley here. Welcome to Keys to Mastery. Now, today we're going to get straight into what we call the absolute secret for the majority of people who create a recurring income long term. Now, it's a lot easier than you think. Today we're going to talk a little bit about statistics. It might take more than 5 minutes, but I'll keep it down, keep it down to that. Okay, so let's go through some statistics. They've been around for 20 or 30 years. They're generally pretty good statistics. You can go and look at them, a variety of different sales organizations all around the world. But this is it. This is the trick. Did you know that most people buy a product or a service not on the first time, not on the second exposure, not on the third time you've spoken to them, but between the 4th and the 12th exposures? Let me repeat that, real simple. So you contact someone the first time, the second time, the third time, but it's first around the 4th time through to the 12th time that they actually make the decision to get your product or service. What's interesting about that? Did you also know that most people in the sales industry, regardless if it's network marketing, if it's direct sales, doesn't matter what country it is in, where they're doing, what they're selling, most people never follow up more than 3 times. And we're talking 90% of people in the industry never follow up more than 3 times. Did you get that? Did you get that? Did you understand that? Thinking. Remember the 10 model. Thinking. So let me tell you a little story. When I first started in the industry, I used to buy stuff straight away or not buy at all. And so I took that with me into the direct selling industry, and that failed me because I used to think, if I contacted you one time, and then I told you a second time, and then I told you a third time, and you weren't interested, I'd stop. I wouldn't follow up more than 3 times because I thought, my psychology was, I thought I was pestering you. But statistics show otherwise. They show that you won't make a decision. The majority, over 90% of people, won't make a decision until 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, up to 12 times. So if you just take that in when you follow up with people, that you're going to get in the game between 4 and 12 times, how would you approach them differently? Would you try and pitch them on the very first deal? Oh, this amazing blah, 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 and ask for the close, ask for the sale? Would you do that on the first exposure like most sales presentations do? Buy now, get started now, sign up now. And where that comes from, we're not going to talk about that. But if you're a professional and you want to have those keys to mastery, you will understand, based on the statistics that have been around a long time, and you've heard this before, the money is in the follow-up. It's the psychology. Understand, it's not about you and not about them. It's just something that most people don't buy straight away. Some people do, but most people don't. So if your idea is to pique interest for 3, 4 times, before they go to a presentation, before you ask for the close. See, what we do, I have another series called the sales scales, but basically the 2-minute version is, it's like this. Imagine you've got sales scales and they're even, right? But when you are explaining something to someone the first time, your product or service is light and their money is heavy. And they're not going to give it to you. Now, through the education process of teaching people what to do, you can get it to parity. And if you're a good closer, you can ask for the close and they'll exchange the money and you'll give them the product, right? Most people aren't that good at that. So you keep educating them, in other words, the process, the exposures, for 4 to 12 times, and you make your product or service more valuable than the money they have in their pocket. It becomes heavier. Their money's lighter. And once you get to this level, generally what happens is they start throwing money at you because they want that product. That's much more valuable, heavier than the money they have in their pocket. Now, it's 20 years of sales experience in 30 seconds. It's a little bit more complicated than that. But that process is exposures. Okay, keys to mastery. Remember, subscribe and come back to the Epidietics YouTube channel and get your keys to mastery. We'll continue this process bit by bit. Thanks for your time. Bye for now.